Snorlax is a tough Pokemon, because you think you're a beefy juggernaut, and then this happens to you. Boy, I really screwed up. And then other times you realize, oh, I can do some crazy things with Snorlax. I'm so sorry, Ninetales. This is so mean, but I had to do it. So let's figure out the best way to build and play Snorlax. Hi everyone, this is Jake, your resident content cowboy here. Yeehaw! That's right. I love saying the yeehaw. People think I don't like saying it. It's just that sometimes I forget it and I have to throw it in last minute. In this best build guide, we're going to be talking about held items, battle items, move sets, everything to do with Snorlax. And hopefully by the end of it, you are going to be a better Snorlax player. Snorlax right now is the #1 or S tier #1 defender in the game for good reasons. Snorlax is pretty freaking amazing. Snorlax has a lot of endurance, the biggest health pool in the game, I believe, even though we can't see stats, it definitely looks like it, and he is so disruptive on the battlefield. It's amazing when someone uses a Snorlax correctly to make sure that your Cinderace, your Ninetales, all those little squishy people, of course your Gengar and Zeraora, are safe, and your team can take out the big objectives like Dreadnought, Rotom, and Zapdos. Snorlax can also be played in the jungle fairly well, and I do think his moveset has a lot of opportunity for different kinds of play. However, I think there's one build that clearly stands above the rest because it's just so good utility-wise. Snorlax is the kind of Pokemon where the party doesn't start until he arrives. He's your friend Jeff, and everyone's kind of hanging out and having a good time, and then Jeff's there, and you're like, yes, Jeff! Jeff's so fun and cool. I wish I was like Jeff. Well, in this guide, you're gonna be Jeff, my man. Snorlax never evolves. He starts as Snorlax and he dies as Snorlax. They'll bury him in the biggest coffin ever. That got dark and weird. On to Snorlax moves. Snorlax starts with Tackle and then Rest at levels 1 and 3. Tackle is the obvious choice without question. You get Rest very quickly, and it's really great to recover your health in lane, but Tackle is just so good. You charge towards the opponent, you hit them, and it makes your next basic attack a boosted attack. If you really want to be a nerd about how to use it, it's basic attack, boosted basic attack, tackle, boosted basic attack. That's the combo. All you need to remember is that Tackle charges up your boosted attack. So I would use your boosted attack if you got it, and then hit a Tackle, and then do a boosted attack again. It's just a nice way to do a ton of damage in an area. Just be careful that you're not stealing all of the wild Pokemon KOs from your carry in lane. Rest is your basic recovery move that you use in lane for a little while. It's nice, you fall asleep, you restore some HP. It also happens to block the movement of opposing Pokemon, so you can use it somewhat strategically from time to time, but it's basically your heal to keep you alive in lane. I like to use it and let my ally Pokemon take the berries if possible. At level 6, it's time to get a new move, either Heavy Slam or Flail. Heavy Slam has you basically jump to a location, slam down on it, and throw the Pokemon up into the air, and then once it's upgraded, it increases the damage dealt. The damage is nice, but the entire purpose for this move is to make sure that your team can take out opposing Pokemon and disrupt enemy Pokemon. This can be used effectively to both start team fights and to knock up the enemy carries like a Cinderace or Ninetales to make sure people can focus on them and they can't use their basic attacks for a second. The utility of this move can't be overstated. It's really great. Your next option at level 6 is Flail. You flail about and increase your basic attack damage, and it increases higher depending on how low your HP is. You can see from this clip here, I'm going to head on down and attack one of these Pokemon here. Without Flail, I'm doing 230 damage on basic attacks. With Flail on, I'm doing 558 damage on basic attacks, and of course an increase on my boosted as well. And while I do like this move, and I think there are some situations where it is good to take, you could absolutely be a very strong Snorlax with it, there's no question that Heavy Slam is better in the long run. I really like Flail, but near the end of those big team fights, you want the ability to disrupt what's happening. At level 8, you have the choice between Block or Yawn. And just like the other move choices for Snorlax, I think they're both really good, and situationally, I like them both a lot. Let's talk about Block. Block has the user spread your arms out and you create a big wall and grants a shield. It prevents opposing Pokemon from passing through it, and it shoves them if they run into it, shoving them and giving them this brief stun. When used correctly, this move can change the game. You can take multiple Pokemon out of a team fight, you can block them and bash them into a wall. It's so absolutely devastating when used right. However, when used incorrectly, this move is awful. If you don't know how to use this, you are doing some dumb stuff. Oh, something interesting to note, you can also push Rotom around into your own goal if you're not careful, but this is nice for fighting Rotom as a team. It does not work on Dreadnought or Zapdos. As you saw in the clip I showed earlier, you can literally push your enemies into the zone where they can't move fast and have your team just destroy them. My big suggestion, take it into practice mode, figure out how it works, and figure out when and where to use it. Once you have that and you're using Block effectively, you become Jeff. That's a callback to the earlier Jeff stuff. The other route you can take is Yawn. Yawn attacks in a line in front of you, and if a Pokemon is hit by it, it puts them to sleep, which basically makes them unable to do anything for a couple seconds. Yeah, I just timed it. It looks like a little under 3 seconds, maybe 3 seconds exactly. Yawn can also affect multiple enemies, not only wild Pokemon, but player-controlled Pokemon. This is huge. I've used this to some devastating effect in games. The only tricky thing about Yawn is if you miss, it's completely useless, whereas with Block, you can sometimes set something up even if you don't create the best block possible. But when you Yawn multiple enemy Pokemon, especially when you Yawn one of their carries, oh, it is so useful in a big fight. I would take Yawn if I had a Pokemon that really needed people to get locked down and they were having a hard time getting to them. Kind of similar to when I would take Telekinesis on Slowbro. I like Yawn and I would definitely try it out in game, but I think Block just provides better utility for the team. There are more important things that can be done with Block. That being said, some of my funnest matches with Snorlax have been... Did I call him Snorlax? Yeah, I just listened back. I said Snorlax. Oh well. Some of my funnest matches have been with Yawn, but I think Block is a bit better. On to the Unite move, Power Nap. Power Nap is a pretty fun Unite move. You basically lay down in the middle of the match and start regaining HP at a rapid rate. You also do a little damage and you throw the opposing Pokemon while creating a field that does damage over time. The damage over time is pretty negligible, but you getting all your health back, shielding a buddy if you use Buddy Barrier, I think it's pretty important. This is one of the few Unite moves that I don't often like starting a team fight with or using it early. You kind of want to use it a little late. The only problem is if they're not focusing on you and they have been focusing your allies, you might need to pop your Unite move just so you can keep people alive with the Buddy Barrier. And I mean, look at how much life you get back from this. It's pretty nuts. Also, mid-Unite move, you can hit the button again and do a little roll onto people. It looks to do just another little point of damage. Snorlax has a fun little passive that increases the effects gained from eating berries, so you can gain a lot of health from eating those berries. It's pretty nice, and oftentimes you can use this to your advantage because you can dive behind the enemy goal and eat their berries for an insane increase in health. Snorlax's boosted basic attack triggers very fast, and when it hits, it deals damage in a little bit of an area, and it decreases movement speed of opposing Pokemon. It's just a nice little benefit and helps you early in lane. It's battle items time, and you know what that means. It's the time of the video for a question. For the most part, I really only see eject button being the most useful battle item. I have seen people use goal getter to some success, but in general, everyone's running eject button. It's the best. Today's question. We all know you wake up Snorlax with the Pokeflute. What would wake you up if you were the Snorlax sleeping in the path? For me, I think it would probably be Bullet Rye Whiskey. Now on to held items. The interesting thing about held items is there's only so many item enhancers to go around unless you want to put a lot of money into the game, so you kind of have to make some choices based around that. But right now, I love running the Assault Vest. It gives you that shield that nullifies special attack equal to 12% of your max HP. I of course run Buddy Barrier on most every Pokemon. This also gives you an increase in HP, up to plus 600 at level 30, which helps out with your Assault Vest. And I like running a Focus Band, increasing defense, special defense, plus regaining a ton of HP when you get low in health. Another great option here is a score shield because it would increase your HP. However, I just have not had the ability to upgrade that item at all yet, so I can't really say if that one's good or not. Some other items that I think are fun, if you're running an attacking Snorlax, a muscle band I think is a pretty good choice, and then I would probably swap your assault vest out for something like a float stone so you could move around faster. This is basically what I would run if you were jungle Snorlaxing, something like this. It's not the best build, I would say, but it is an option if you want to do that Flail build for Snorlax. Rocky Helmet is also a good call for this Pokemon, but I personally still prefer my Focus Band, my Buddy Barrier, and my Assault Vest. For the people who are watching this video that are rocking that Score Shield, I'm curious, what do you think about it? I haven't given it enough of a shot yet, so let me know in the comments. And now here's the part of the video where we take a look at some strategy and just talk about what you can do with Snorlax. Right there, I'm running a Flail Yawn build, and that Yawn is just so nice. You can put anyone to sleep and let your team catch up with them. From that same match, I try to Yawn that Cramorant mid-Unite move. I'm just curious what it'll do. I didn't think it would actually do anything, and then you could see me pop my Unite here and just push them away from our goal. And with that Flail, you become a little bit of a beast. You could take people out. You could see me put Mr. Mime to sleep right there. It just gives you enough time to let your entire team collapse on the enemy Pokemon. Here's some more yawning and some more flailing, and I know I said it's not the best build, but boy, I have a lot of fun with it. This guy tries to chase me down. You can see you're so low health, he can't do anything to me. He burns all of his moves, and then I can get away. This is actually a fun little exchange here, because you can see just how tanky Snorlax is. You can see here they're diving on me with 3 Pokemon at some point, and they still can't take me down. And look at how much health I get back from that berry, and then I'm right back in the encounter, and it's time to fight. And we fight, and we win! Here's a little clip from a heavy slam block build I was doing. You can just continue to put pressure on the enemy, and they think they're going to take you out. I love to walk away for a second and then just get right back in with that heavy slam so my ally can take them down. You are so resilient as Snorlax, you can make plays like this. Here is a quick little taste from a Yawn heavy slam build. So I would reposition myself oftentimes with the heavy slam, and then I would land the Yawn when I needed to disable one of the Pokemon on the enemy team. Once you're in the late game and along with an ally, you can really punish people with a heavy slam and a yawn. You see me reposition on this Cramorant here, yawn them, and then our Lucario comes in to help deal with that Pokemon. Full life to gone. Here's a little more early game fighting with Snorlax. Snorlax does really well in lane because he's surprisingly resilient, and you can grab these berries for a ton of health. I don't want to take them from my teammate, my Cramorant here, but I get so much of a benefit when both of us are low, and I'm going to be trying to soak up most of the damage that I think it's the way to go. Unfortunately, we do lose my buddy Crammy here, but I am able to finish off the encounter. Here's a little heavy slam yawn build. We take out a Cinderace, and then I reposition towards the Cramorant. Cramorant uses his Unite move, but Snorlax's Unite move not only does damage, but would heal me the whole way anyway during Cramorant's Unite. I've got too many fun Snorlax clips, but just here's a classic dealing with Zapdos. I pop myself down to hopefully do damage over time to Zapdos and push that Mr. Mime out of the way. And then once you're in this little alley here, you can of course push them with your block. Your block is so important around this big team fight. I hope this guide helps you. Again, I think the best build is a block heavy slam build. It's just the most useful in the game right now. And if you're going to use something else, perhaps a heavy slam yawn build. If you spend your time supporting your team and pushing them away from your Cinderace, you'll be Jeff in no time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, everyone. I will see you all next time. Mwah!